We acknowledge the Kaurna people as the traditional custodians of the Adelaide region and their spiritual relationship with their country. We pay respect to elders past, present, and emerging, and extend that respect to all First Nations people and their connections to land. Always was, always will be.
Kia ora, everyone. I hope you're having a great week so far. We are now on Wednesday. We're halfway there. Only a few more days to go. Yep. To my right, I've got Renee, aka Reenie. It's actually the other way around. How you doing, girl?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm doing all right, thank you. I'm doing a lot better now since I've had a week to process you calling me Archie live on air.
My bad.
Yeah, hate crimed. What are you going to cover for us today?
I will be covering Brown Talk. How have you broken the cycle? So it's gonna be a bit deep today.
Oh, lots to think about. I'm not sure if my brain is up for it.
Oh,
we'll see how we go. It's giving lobotomy. And across from me, I've got Dion, bro. How are you?
I'm good, my guy. How are you, man?
I'm doing good. What are you doing for today?
So today I'm taking the stew. So dancers, when it comes to like knowing your worth with paid performances, gigs, teaching, all that sort of stuff, we're gonna kind of cover a bit of that and just kind of see where it takes us.
Yeah,
So
sounds
it'll be
good.
Yeah.
And my name is Aki, of course, and I'll be covering rapid fire for today. Pew pew. Yeah, all to be revealed soon. But the three of us make the three
Wise
cousins. All right, take it away. Let's go.
All right. So for today's topic, we've got the stew, and I guess especially because living in Adelaide, like it's very limited when it comes to any type of professional paid work, especially whether it's MVs, music videos, whether it's performances, as a backup dancer or as a featured supporting act or act in general. Across there's such a wide range. It's such a I don't know. It's almost like the Wild West. Because you've got like community gigs, you've got school performances and things like that, like formals. There's like any and every sort of avenue and place you can kind of see dancers performing at. There's a lot of like landmines that come with being a paid professional dancer or trying to make a career out of it, not just here in Adelaide, but especially just in Australia in general. Unless you have the knowledge, the expertise, the look, branding wise, like how marketable are you, and are you the right fit for whatever this event or performance is for as well? Because early in my career, like I was so fixated on just being like a great dancer that I would get a bit like down on myself when it came to auditioning for performances and gigs and stuff like that, and even tours, and I wasn't really getting booked for them. But then I learnt a lot later on and having conversations with other people that it's not necessarily about just the dancing. The dancing is kind of like a bit of it, but the main thing is like, are you the right fit for the artist or for the vision that the agent or manager is looking for that performance or event? So yeah, that's a bit of like my experience. But I guess like, what about for yourself, bro? How's it been, I guess in recent time and just in general, like within Adelaide with performances?
I remember my first ever audition as an adult, and it was for like a dance performance as like halftime for a fashion show. And I just remember she came in, we all did our like solos and whatnot, and I just remember watching everyone else, and I'm just thinking, this woman just wants some tall white man. And I'm just thinking, I'm not gonna get this. At the time as well, remember, this is when I had like purple hair as well, so I was just kind of like, oh, this is not gonna cut it for Miss Wonder White. Yeah, it was not my most happiest moment, but I found for me like that time of my life, I found it like it was it definitely pressed against my insecurities, because at that time I used my outward like image as a way to sort of like protect myself, because I was just not really sure how people would perceive me. That's why I became a bit like very sharp-witted as well, and very quick with my words because it was a defense mechanism. So yeah, not being accepted for auditions definitely was a bit of a blow. But in a way, it all kind of happened for a reason because I'm not putting my time and energy into those sort of like commercial gigs, and I get to put it into my own craft. So in a way, it's kind of like a different route for the same sort of means as what you've just described for yourself too. Yeah. But like the commercial scene is it's pretty rough, guys. Like I've got mates who are doing like circuits, the cruises, Sydney, all that sort of stuff, music videos too. And I'm just like, if you're not an adaptable person, definitely reconsider because
it's not for you. You got to,
and if you're also a really proud person, it's gonna be really challenging too because it's not. Unfortunately, it's not you, the person they're really after.
They just want a specific look.
Yeah, and you're emulating someone else's representation. So there's a bit of a mental gymnastics there for sure. What about you, sis?
Where do I even start?
Put your seatbelt on.
Oh, yeah, buckle up.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so funny we're talking about this because, I mean, as you both know, I had a bit of a recent situation happen over the weekend where me and my girls, the dance group I was part of as a supporting act, we were given no choice but to walk away an hour before our performance time because of multiple reasons such as greed, no communication. I mean, I think it was just like initially it was unpaid work to getting a very poor pay for an international artist, $50, a bit lousy, but doesn't even cover petrol, especially in the current state of the economy. Doesn't even cover petrol. But I mean, it's not even about the money, it's about the principle, obviously. I think at what point is it worth the exposure and stuff? And I think beyond frustrating, especially, and like obviously I would say I've had a few gigs, but this was definitely gonna be one of my big gigs.
100%.
So yeah, it kind of was like, all right, let's just still run it up. It will look good on paper that we've worked with an international artist. We'll get great content out of it. But in saying so, I think despite all the rubbish that happened, well, not even rubbish, all the disrespect of the organizers that were involved in that situation, I'm not going to out them. I already did on my Instagram. But anyways.
Damn, I was waiting for it. I was about to say, like, we'll see you when we see you.
Yep. You know who you are. But, and that's the thing. I'm not someone who stays silent. I think if these conversations don't happen, when will they happen and stuff? And I think for me, the only reason I chose to speak up on my Instagram about the really poor events that played out completely by choice too, is because I don't plan on working with those people ever again. 100%. So I was like, I have nothing to lose. So, and you know, I didn't want it to happen to other people and stuff, but, and I just think a big lesson out of that whole situation, integrity is never worth the money.
That's very
like, I think that's the biggest thing, and also not undervaluing ourselves. And I think we're in a place where like we need to rework and just work on our portfolio so people can see who they're working with and stuff, because we got a great community here, but we just need to focus more on like what are we offering, because there's not really much to show. So a bit on our end, but a lot of that was definitely on the organizers' end. And I think it was just insane seeing, I mean, shout out to the Bloodline girlies. So deserving. So cool seeing
and
them.
Icon girls too.
So cool seeing them on stage. Just absolutely kill it. So it's really bittersweet seeing such beautiful opportunities like that happen for very deserving people. And then this happening for myself and others, and I know I wasn't the only performers that were screwed around. So
100%.
And it's just, and that was definitely all on the organizers, and that just purely based on greed and never again.
But what was one of the good things that came out of you voicing your issues with the event?
Well, yeah, in doing so, a lot of people are grateful that I've spoken up because they felt they've wanted to speak up. But I've been able to connect with two really cool promoters that are wanting to work with me, and also some other creatives that we've been connecting. And I think we're like, these, besides that, opportunities are kind of falling in place. So we're like, let's do something about it and stuff. We don't need certain people to create ourselves. It just
No,
might mean it might be a little bit harder, but we're more than capable. So yeah, so a lot of positives despite all of that.
Yeah,
I
And a
think the
lot of
good thing,
lessons.
yeah, I think the good thing about it though is like in your situation,
Mm.
it kind of teaches you. It's a hard lesson, but it's
Mm.
a, and when I say you, it's like your team, your group that you're
Yeah.
performing with. You know, what's the name of your team again? The group
Afro
performing.
Social Adelaide.
There we go. The plug.
Asa.
And so the business side is the side that a lot of dancers skip, and they think like, oh, it's okay, like I'll just take like, you know, pennies for the dollar on the dollar sort of thing, where it's like that's all good in the beginning when you're trying to build your brand and your name and your presence, and you know, if you know like you're not at like a world class level, then you probably shouldn't be charging world class rates.
Yeah, that's
I
it.
mean, and some people are able to if it comes to branding and marketing, but again, the biggest thing is just being aware. And like what I'm going to do is just quickly plug dancersaustralia.org. So basically what this website is for any dancers that are listening, it's the Union for Australia's dancers, dance teachers and choreographers, which is working towards fair pay, safe work and respect. I didn't think of that off the top of my head. I'm literally reading it on the website. Good friend of mine, Meg Cooper, who owns and runs Mad Dance House in Brisbane. I was, you know, great. I had the great opportunity, you know, a few years back to be part of the faculty at Mad Dance, and even when I first started teaching there, like I sent her an invoice, and I wasn't aware like that I needed to also send my like super. You know, so that she could actually pay me properly. And she actually sent me back an email saying like, hey, I can't pay you yet because I need you to send me like, you know, your superannuation details so I can pay you properly for these classes and other gigs. So which for me was baffling, because like if she really wanted to, she could have just like let it slide and I would have never known. I would have been none the wiser. But now things like that, and just even conversations with people like her and other people in the event, like, you know, promoters and all that stuff in that scene, yeah, I've learned a lot of like interesting lessons and had a lot of really good conversations. So for a lot of dancers that are upcoming, or teams and groups that are looking to get into, you know, paid performances and works and stuff, just have a look at dancersaustralia.org. It basically covers like based on if you've been dancing professionally for 2 years, 10 years, all that sort of stuff, you know, and all the other expenses that dancers don't really itemize for themselves. Like when they do send an invoice to a promoter or a studio or whatever, like there's a lot of things that go into it. So yeah, just being mindful of those things for you guys so you can avoid, you know, the exposure thing. The exposure thing is good if you know that like you're willing to, eat humble pie for a short period of time, hopefully, in order to propel you further later down the track.
And one more food for thought as well I've noticed with like Adelaide specifically, I've noticed a lot of people when it comes to like this industry, whether you're an organizer, creative, a lot of people suffer from like tall poppy syndrome. When I think there's so much space for everyone, and it's like, yeah, you could be producing and doing the same thing, but it's like you as individuals are still different and stuff. I don't know. I was having this conversation with another person in the creative space that does like completely different stuff, but and we were just talking about that as well. So yeah, I don't know, it's just something I've noticed, and it's like, is it an insecurity thing? Like, I'm just talking off the top of my head, but it's like I said, there's space for everyone to be great.
Yeah,
so
dancers, we're worth more than just being the background. Like, you know,
that's
if we're not at a club and there's music playing, it's a dead club.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So just, you know,
And
know your
just,
worth.
you know, to organize an alley, don't book dancers if you can't afford dancers.
Well, that's the tea.
Greedy pigs.
That reminds me of a few years.
That's what I said.
What about the one this year, bro?
Hey,
This
Which
was
one?
it this year or last year?
last year was the one where we had to bail very close to the
Yeah.
date. But the one that I was thinking about in a few years ago was when I was actually flown to Sydney. and it's where I met my now house mother for the first time. And so what had happened was I was supposed to perform on the main stage for Sydney Mardi Gras, and get like a scroll of things that they did wrong because the list just seemed like it was endless. But we didn't actually know whether or not we were going to perform until the morning of, because there were a few different groups and we were all collaborating to work on this one performance, and two of the other groups were in comms with the coordinators. And so what we were getting told was that like, oh, we're boycotting because they're not going to pay us X amount. Oh, they're offering this. And then like, yeah, it was very hot and cold. And back then as well, I was not doing very well financially. So like I was staying in the Capsule Hotel. If you've ever been in one of those, it looks like a modern morgue. It basically is just like, you just are in a box as your bed and you're just like this.
Damn.
Like,
Yeah, lying flat. Yeah.
I'm just staring at the
Do what
wall
you
being
gotta
like,
do.
am I about to perform or nah? Like, we did end up performing.
Okay.
In the stage rehearsal the day before, though, it was raining and we were like, okay, cool, we can make this work, like it's fine. And we were pretty much ready to go. Turns out on the day of the performance, when we're about to go, thousands of people in the park, and I nearly slip as soon as I get on stage because they've resurfaced the entire stage with
Damn.
perspex.
Oh my
The
goodness.
rehearsal, it was just wood. Like
Sabotage.
I was like, yeah, someone was out for me.
Yep.
And then here's the real gag, and this is what we were saying before about making sure that, like, you know, make sure you know what you're entitled to. And one of them is called liability insurance, because they didn't tell us that there was going to be pyrotechnics about 1.5 meters away from the stage.
Brother.
And I nearly got my eyebrows singed off.
Oh, I know what this is. You've showed. Damn.
Yeah, there were a lot of trials and tribulations of that week.
Damn.
We did get paid, however,
Good.
and like made some great friendships and connections along the way. But my God, it was messy. If you thought yours was messy, I didn't even know if I was going to get paid,
Yeah.
let alone, and a lot of it I forked out of my own pocket.
Damn.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I think it's hard. It's hard being a creative and also having that administrative skills to be able to be really on money. And it's
Yeah.
I think for Adelaide as well, a lot of the creatives are quite shy about talking about worth
100%.
and financial
Yeah, everyone's
side.
it's like almost like gatekeepery, not in a bad way, but like, you know what I mean. Like people are like kind of reluctant.
Absolutely,
to-
But
but
it's like, but as dancers, it's like if there's rehearsal times, you're having to drive to and from places for this like upcoming gig. It's like, you know, there's things. It's like the performance doesn't even cover the, you know, pre-leading to it.
no,
and
all
stuff.
the prep, no.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, and this is just a little grain of perspective for everyone who's lowballing themselves in the creative space. By you giving a lower quote for your performance, you then inherently make it okay for every other organizer to then question a higher quote.
Yeah, the market value
Yeah,
across the
it goes
community
down.
goes down.
So
it's like,
everyone add extra zeros
I'm
to
like,
your quote.
Go on rules.
just
I'm
make sure
like,
if you're going to charge more, you can actually deliver above and beyond
yeah,
whatever
but
it
it's
is.
like, you know, and, well, yeah, that
you
more
know, like
than
I've
anything
been
first.
teaching for a long ass time, you know, been everywhere, done everything I kind of wanted to do on my bucket list. So like I charge like a premium price, especially considering I live in Adelaide even more so. But that's also why, and this is no like this or anything, but that's why like I don't go out and teach a lot of open workshops at other studios or places or run, you know, those sort of programs elsewhere, just because it's not within their like budget a lot of the time or timeline or whatever, which is fine. Like I don't
Yeah.
mind, but like that's why like you don't really see me outside unless it's something that I'm self-funding or running or being supported, collaborated with.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a really important takeaway, is not like being realistic with your self-worth, and then also how does that translate on in a dollar value.
Yeah, and like just trying to get a gauge on like what the market price is right now, like between like if you're looking to be, for example, as a choreographer, like if you're reaching out to studios and they tell you what their rate is, if you're going to be teaching there regularly, then you can kind of get a pulse, a sense of like, okay, this is what most studios are charging. Do I feel like for the amount of work and time I'm putting into this and the level that I'm at and my achievements and credits, do I feel like that's sufficient? Or
Totally.
do I feel like it needs to be adjusted?
100%.
Yeah.
But the other thing as well, in addition to that, is being able to know when to be more fluid. Like if you're going to be really stern on your price, you're like fixed and like that's it, or whether or not it's like, actually this project that they're proposing is really cool and I would really want to be involved, but their budget doesn't match mine. Maybe there's something to compromise on, whether it's the amount of dancers or the amount of work that you offer. There's sometimes you can make room to give if you want to.
And just like dancers, like don't be scared to negotiate. Like don't like think like, especially if you're like up and coming, like as a choreographer or a teacher or a dancer or whatever you do, like don't be afraid to negotiate, because the worst they can say is no, and then you're going to be back to where you were before you asked them, which is where you're not teaching or you're not working. So
with
either
no
way,
cash.
it's a win-win.
Yeah.
You know, I think that dancers get really hung up on just trying to secure the job, even if it's at the cost of their time, their effort, money, whatever. I feel like this is something that we can like sidebar and bring back later on as well. 'Cause
I definitely think there is more room for discussion, because especially as we develop in ourselves as performers and creatives, we've got more things to bring to the table too.
Sure,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, well said. Well, thanks for bringing that to the stew.
no props, man.
Well, I don't know about y'all, but I've been noticing that people have been popping babies left, right, and
Look at
center.
that. Look at that transition.
You know it, but I don't know. Especially at work, I'm noticing prams. The prams. I'm noticing. Right.
Yep.
I'm noticing crying. I'm noticing.
Free contraception.
That's not what I'm noticing, Greenie. That's the exact opposite. And in addition to that, what I'm also noticing is the choice in names. Some people are just absolutely rough with their name choices. I don't know what y'all are doing. It's not to be trendy, but like if you're choosing some rude names for your kids, you're the bully in this situation, in my opinion. You're
setting your kid up.
Literally, you're like setting them up for disaster.
Bullied.
Yeah, womp womp. But in saying that, in today's episode or segment of Rapid Fire, I've got 2 different rounds, and 2 different sort of like structures as well, so you're gonna have to hold on for me. But I was doing some research. I was going on Reddit, you know, as you do, as you know, someone who is very well versed in tertiary education and knowing how to do an essay and, you know, annotate and all that sort of stuff. And so with my references here, just to warm you up on some outlandish names, we've got get ready for this. Knowledge, spelt KNALIJ. Knowledge.
Knowledge.
I've also got Levi. Shout out to Levi. But
Levi.
spelled LEIGH capital VI.
Wow.
I don't honestly. This list, the Lees, anything Lee, like Ashley, for example.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
You've got some bizarre spellings.
The Ashleys.
I've got 2 more before we get into it.
Okay.
I've got Chardonnay.
Chardonnay. You want to see more Michael
Chardonnay.
Jackson dance moves?
Oh my god.
And the last one I've got is Colorfully. KOLOFULLE. I'm not making this up, guys. I'll pull it up. I'll get the screen grab and I'll put it on the episode. Yeah, I will.
Damn.
So, for the first round, yes, there's some bombastic names, but there is equally bombastic spellings. And so, I'm going to give you some names.
Different kind of spelling bee.
I'm going to do it in alternating.
Okay,
And then I'm going to ask you to see how it's spelt.
Okay, so we just try to spell
You
it.
choose to try and spell it. Okay.
Damn, I already struggle with spelling as it is.
You struggle with speaking too.
Okay.
Take it outside, guys.
Knowledge.
But
That one
Dion,
got me
your
up.
first name is Haley.
Okay, Haley. HELEY. Wait, are you gonna stop me if I'm wrong, or are you just gonna let me spell?
What
it?
would you prefer? No, I'm curious to see how
Okay,
you would
okay.
spell it.
Okay, HEYELEI.
I don't know where I was looking, but I was like,
No, because
how did-
I'm basing it like I'm basing it off of knowledge.
Hallelujah. Every episode. Well, you were wrong. I appreciate the effort though, but the spelling is HAIGHLEIGH.
Bro, they're named after the chocolate. What
Yeah, Hagues.
Oh.
Hagley.
Hagley. That's so
Well, speaking of, we might have to bleep that, but
My bad.
Rini, your
Fine.
name is
Oh,
Gabriella. Nope, sorry, I tell a lie. Gabrielle.
Gabrielle. How else would? Damn.
Go.
Can you spell it normal?
Yeah, no, but I'm like, how else would someone spell it? Okay. I'm gonna say so. GAE.
Go on.
Okay. Damn it. All right. I'm just gonna.
She's just learned
wing
the
it.
alphabet, guys. Give her a break.
No, I reckon she might clutch it.
Okay, I reckon GAEB.
Yeah.
RYEL.
No.
Damn.
It is GABERYIEAL.
You had some of the like.
Yeah, that's what I
right,
mean.
so
I was
yeah.
like, how do you spell this in the most inconvenient way?
Oh, that wins though. 3 vowels in a row. That's
Like,
how you do it.
bravo.
Okay, let's do one more each.
Okay.
Maybe this one's stupid. Also, no hate if your name is spelled like this.
He's like, no hate, and he's absolutely laughing. And she was like, that's a trash name. Shut up, the both of
Okay,
you.
these ones are both a little bit easier.
Okay.
Dion, your name is Melissa space Garner. Melissa Garner.
Okay.
Fucking no.
MELESSA. And then what's the last word? Name?
Garner.
Ghana. Oh, you know what? Bit of culture. KAURNA.
I was gonna say. No, literally.
Welcome to country. Wrong
No,
culture.
joking aside. No,
You are
follow.
wrong. It is spelt M'LISSAGARNER. The apostrophe.
No, you know what?
Hell.
Shut up.
I'm
Shut up.
No,
literally,
not you
before-
shut up, but like just shut up.
Yeah,
Whoever
literally.
like decides to spell.
Melissa.
Literally, like, what a headache.
Okay, Rini,
You know
you're
what- wait, hold up. You know what that name, like spell it again, like the first name, Melissa?
M'LISSA.
Yep. So you know what, to me, what happened in the hospital when they were like, you know, what are we going to name this kid? The dad or the mum was, well, actually, no, the dad was probably like walking, tripped over something and was like, and then just said the name. Something around. And then there's like, all right, let's
I'm
just
sure
go with
that's
that
what
one.
it sounds
Yep.
like when she's in trouble, though. Melissa. Rini, your last
Okay.
one is Jackson.
Okay. It's giving like, all right, Jackson, verb or adjective you're spelling B. I'm just saying. Anyways.
Called rapid fire, Rini.
Okay.
Rapid.
Jackson. Okay. J. A. K. Z. O. N.
No.
I'm just
This,
like.
the spelling is JAXSY.
Oh,
Jackson.
true.
No.
Stupid name though.
Oh,
I
okay.
meant the spelling, not the name. Sorry
Well,
if your
you
name
know-
is Jackson.
And we're back for round 2. So for round 2, instead of the spelling, I had also gone into a deep dive of finding some really punny names where the combination
Sorry
of the
to that.
first and the last name makes something very outlandish. Now,
Why do I feel like we're going to get cancelled?
oh, we are.
Literally, I'm
No,
just like.
well, Dion, let's just do an easy one. We'll just do an easy one, all right? So, Jack.
So,
The surname equals something that is like familiar. when you put the two together. Jack.
And Joe.
Hey.
Wait, what?
So you need the surname,
Oh, to match.
and then Jack plus the surname equals something that we
Oh,
already know.
I thought Jack was like the separate. Okay, so Jack something, and it needs to be.
And it just equals something.
Like
So I could say
pie.
like Jackson. but-
Not quite. Say for example, like
But-
Wayne Kerr.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I thought it was
So, like,
something
just
I was
finish
like,
the
but like
word,
it
but, like,
cancelled
make
if
it-
I see it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So-
Jack Hammer.
That's a good one.
Yep.
The
I was gonna
these are
say-
real names, by the way, that I
Oh.
saw on the internet. The first one is Jack Daniels.
Oh,
Oh, like
JD.
the alcohol.
Your one, Frida.
You good?
Sorry, go.
Frida.
Three.
Helpline.
Tag, tag, tag,
Cool friend.
tag. Free the boys, free the lads.
Close.
Thank you. I was like,
No, you were so close. Free the
Frida
kids. Free the kids.
Free the gang.
Free the kids. Womp womp.
Mm.
Thanks for playing. Dion, your next one is
Nah, see, he's stitching me up now.
cash.
Cash money.
Close. Cash register.
I feel
Nah.
like these are such setups.
Oh, wait.
I'm not even joking though. I will put this up on the screen.
Like, these are real names.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
These are ID card names.
like legit.
Gag.
Okay,
got
we've got one
W's.
more round each. Okay, Rini, your next
I
one
suck at
is
this game.
Mike.
Wazowski.
No, try again.
Mike Myers.
No,
No.
that's no. Latourus. Say it for everyone.
Latourus.
No, Mike.
Wazowski.
Say the whole thing. Say the first name and the what you just said.
What's the first name
What do you
Mike
and
Yep.
the last name?
Wazowski.
No,
Oh my
the
God.
answer.
I'm lost.
Wait, pause. I'd like to apologize to all our listeners.
I'm not, I'm
Sorry,
so
everyone.
What was the
processed.
word you just
Rini's
said?
still on dial-up over
Let's
here.
wait.
Mike.
Mike.
And then what did I say the
La-
answer was?
Mike La.
Lenore.
Latourus.
Latourus.
Yeah,
Now
no,
say it all
Latourus.
together fast.
Mike Latourus.
Thank you.
I don't get it still.
Clitoris.
You got
Oh my god, I get it now. Oh
Oh my god. All right.
holy
brain. I'm not
records.
built for this game.
Dion, your last one is Anna. She already knows.
Annabelle, Anarchy.
It's an initial.
Oh wait, no. Wait,
Ma-
it's an. What
It's a
the-
song.
It's an
I don't know what to
initial.
tell you.
Oh, okay. Wait,
Nicki
that's not
Minaj.
an initial.
Nicki Minaj.
Anaconda.
No, the name, the answer.
Brother, she's
No.
giving me initial.
I thought this was my segment. Say it, Eli.
She's trying to
Nah,
deflect.
it's Anna L. So stupid. I'm dead set. These are real serious ones. I had another one here, which was Major Dicky Head. And then there was also one here called Wombat. Hey? No, just first name
Oh.
and last name is Wombat.
Oh my god.
So the moral of the story is do better, everyone.
Literally.
You don't need trends. You're just going to look stupid. Pick something that's nice.
And remember, they're gonna have that name forever.
Forever. And
Unless,
in my case, I mean, well,
unless.
if you got the dollars, just change the name.
Mhm.
But yeah, that was rapid fire. That was
Bloody
rapid
hell,
doo kaka. That was amazing.
Rapid is like, I don't get it. It's like,
My brain.
Wow.
You're like, say it
we can tell
like-
who was paying attention in the pre-production meeting because I missed the boat.
My brain hurt.
Give me the lobotomy. All right. Go on. Brown
Okay,
talk. Take us away.
So, after that little hee hee ha ha and more like ouch. But yeah, getting into brown talk, and the topic is how have you broken a cycle? So that yeah, like it's pretty self-explanatory. So I'll ask you first, Dion. How have you broken the cycle?
Oh, I haven't put any hands on people that I probably should have. let's be-
my.
No, dead set. Like if you've met my family,
Yeah.
my extended family, like my brothers, like they're listening to this and they're laughing because they know. And I'm like the chill one, and I'm the one that like doesn't need to get involved with all of that stuff. So for me,
Allegedly.
Yeah, I was gonna be like allegedly.
well,
the
actually,
chill
no. To
one.
be honest, like, let's be real. Like 3 weeks ago, was it 3 weeks ago during rehearsal? Some drunk guys walked into the studio, so I offered all three of them out at the same time. I'm not condoning violence, but also like I'm in a studio doing my job, and although the door was open, that wasn't an invite for drunk people to walk in and like film themselves, you know, having a laugh at our expense. Especially when I've got like young kids in there.
Yeah.
And then, like, even that aside, like, I've got young kids, I've got women in there, I've got other people as well. So
Yeah, quite a
Like,
few vulnerable groups.
I don't like. For me, I'm very like protective when it comes to like not even just because I'm the leader and trying to be, you know, tough or masculine
Yeah.
and all that stuff like that. That aside, like, I mean, I had no clue there were three of them, but like I was still keen to run it.
Tapped into the fucker papa. That's the multi word of the day.
Yeah, and a lot of the newer people in my team, they were a little surprised, and then
I was
then
giggling
she
like,
was-
he
she-
means it, guys. He means
Yeah.
it.
yeah.
Oh, you want to go scrap up? And I'm like, oh my
I would
god.
be both like, ooh, and they're like laughing, and we're like,
But the guy actually came into the
Well,
space.
yeah,
as well. I was
exactly.
looking at him like, what are
because
you
when
doing?
he came initially, I thought, oh, is this someone that knows one of our?
Yeah, I thought it was maybe like a
but
boyfriend.
then he just
a-
started
a
acting
husband,
stupid,
or-
and I was like, oh, bravo, get out.
Yeah, I don't play games when it comes to that stuff.
He
So I
don't
mean,
play.
like, as like just straight to the point, that's definitely one, because like again, if you've met my family, my close family and stuff, then you know, like half of, actually no, not half, but like on one side of my family, on my mum's side, you know, some of my cousins are in like one gang, and then some of my cousins are also in the rival gang, which is interesting when it comes to family functions. But we all know to leave that stuff outside. We don't bring that into the marae. We don't bring it into the house. We don't bring any dramas and all that stuff. But yeah, I would say that that's definitely one thing, because there's definitely been trying and testing times in my life, just in general,
Yeah.
where, you know, I've wanted to kind of like feed into that stereotype of, you know, being young Polynesian man, just not knowing how to manage and deal with his emotions and his anger and stuff like that. And I've seen examples of that with my family, and even some of the people I spend a lot of time with and look up to where like now they've gone from being like, you know, like thug life gangsters and all these other things, and finding excuses to be violent and do, you know, criminal acts and stuff, to now actually giving back and working in the youth space as like mentors and teachers and all that stuff. So yeah, I think I'm just grateful that, like, although I had those moments, I'm just grounded and have a solid foundation with my parents raising me right, and, you know, my family and all that stuff. And I just realized I didn't want to follow, you know, as much as I love my cousins and all that, I didn't want to follow down that path. That just wasn't for me. And I feel like if I was to have probably been living in New Zealand, like with my family, especially because we're from Gisborne, like small country town on the east coast, there's not really a lot of opportunities. So like when people here in Adelaide say that there's not really many opportunities, like I'm looking at them sideways. I was like, you guys don't even know how good you've got it, you know, just in general. So yeah, I'd say that that's probably mine.
Yeah,
Well
that's
said,
well
well
said.
said.
Yeah.
All right. What about you, Archie?
I think for me, it's quite difficult to figure out. I guess because for me, like, as far as I know, I don't have family who's like about that life, like the thug life, or who square up in a certain way. I think though one of the things that I have sort of worked towards breaking the cycle is opening more access to information that my family wouldn't have had prior, and whether that's about different gender identities, whether it's about different communities or dance. I mean, like, I'm a pretty like diverse person as it is, but and my parents are too, and by extension my family, but there's still some conservative discussions. And so I've been very fortunate with people like my dad, for example, to have pretty casual but very meaningful conversations that have been very reassuring, to know that like I feel safe, or like I feel supported. I think another thing as well, not in a petty way, but just in a way that's kind of different, is that I don't know about you guys, but especially on my mum's side, a lot of the family tends to follow tradition in a way, and they tend to be quite quiet and follow like if something's being done, they will just follow in a just like don't draw attention to any kind of way. And now as an adult, and also actually through losing mum, I've definitely been able to have those conversations with older generations in her generation, I should say, where people do view and have diverse thinkings, but they just keep quiet to keep the oldies happy. Whereas there's been a select few that I've actually become very close to unfortunately through mourning, that have been kind of like the black sheep of the family. And that's no shade. That's just kind of like because they're very loud and outgoing in terms of their views and like their beliefs. If they feel like something is an injustice to themselves or the people that they love, they're very vocal about that. And I think that's something that I'm very proud to have said that I've also taken on. I just don't like it when people just like go under the radar, or like they just chill and be like, oh, it'll be fine, because like, I don't know, for instance, like a more predominant person in the family is doing something that would otherwise be considered inappropriate, for example, or, someone like, how do I word it? I guess I'm not afraid to go against the grain for something I believe in.
Well said.
Yeah, so that's something that I'm very happy to have broken for myself, at least.
Very beautifully said. Damn.
What about yourself?
Honestly, very similar to like what you were saying. I mean, I've watched my grandparents on my mum's side, both my mum and my dad, break the cycle in so many ways and stuff. I really do look up to, all of them as massive examples in my life, especially knowing how hard their upbringings were and stuff. Just so like, I guess like leaning onto those examples, it's kind of, I would say, has definitely pushed me as an individual to break the cycle in my own ways. But I think for me, the thing has definitely been speaking up. And stuff, and I mean, it is a little bit sensitive, so trigger warning, mentions of abuse and stuff like that, but I feel like it's very common in Pacifica communities, the whole shame, not bringing up stuff because it brings shame, which I do understand, but yeah, I think for me, my parents have really taught me to never be afraid speaking up, and they've provided me so much support in speaking up with, like you said, when it comes to inappropriate acts, as someone who has experienced that myself and chosen to speak up. I'm ending the cycle from people in my further generations to experiencing such horrific acts and stuff. But I mean, it does come with a bit of a cost, I feel. There's breaking the cycle, but they don't talk, a lot of people don't talk about sometimes the relationships you lose with breaking the cycle. But when you really take it apart on a deeper level, it's all just unhealed energy, truly. And I feel it's just a lot of unlearning and relearning and creating safe spaces. And even though there's a lot of that, still a lot of healing in my life and stuff, and the people involved in my life, I've just noticed that everything that when it's a negative, it just all comes from such an unhealed place. And if anything, I feel actually sad for them, because I'm like, what have they gone through to have to be conditioned in this way? So it's just that, that cycle
100%.
and stuff. So yeah, very like similar to some of the stuff you touched on. But I think for me, it's like my parents have raised me not to be ashamed of who I am. And I think because of their support, I've been able to really break the cycle. But also, like, I feel like we've been able to create safe space. Like, you know, a lot of the men in my family being able to speak up about mental health problems rather than, you know, being able to tap into that vulnerability rather than just have to put on the front and be the strong one. It's like, you know, you don't have to be. We're all human. So yeah, I feel like, yeah, like that's been one of the toughest but biggest lessons and biggest blessings in my life.
Yeah. I was going to add to what you were saying, like one of the hardest things is the repercussions of bringing something up. I guess, like whether or not you feel as though it's like something that you've done wrong, or whether or not, you know, they're a bad person, or at the end of the day, like, well, ironically, or as cliche as it sounds, we're all human. And unfortunately, just the way that someone acts is also based on something that they either believe in, or in the thought processes that they have, or the lack of knowledge and, you know, conversation that they have access to. And so, as not to downplay any experience, but like something that I've definitely had to learn in conversations with my dad, for example, although I've just mentioned that we've had some positive ones, there's been plenty of times where we've had like very, very heated discussions. And now as an adult, being able to reflect on that, I don't hold it against him, and I'm sure he feels the same way for myself. But it's the lack of access, especially for men, to be able to discuss emotions that is unfortunately the downfall of this whole conversation. Because without that forum and that ability to, you know, identify and break down these barriers, as well as to understand, they won't be able to understand themselves, and by consequence they won't be able to understand how it affects everyone else. And I'm not just talking about men in general, but I'm talking about anyone 100%. Really.
Yeah. And like one more thing, just one more thought to add as well. And I remember it was a therapist that told me this actually. Whether it's subconscious, like I remember really powerful advice she gave me: forgive your parents for like not knowing better, any mistakes, little or big. It's like, you know, when you really reflect as an adult, you really learn that, like, damn, they just did the best that they could do with what they had at the time.
100%.
And, you know, when you think about it, it's just like when you're managing kids, especially frick my family, holy damn, there's a lot of us. Yeah, it's just like, you know, survival mode and stuff. So it's just learning to, like, you know, forgive them, like I said, big or small mistakes, but letting them, you know, have that safe space to like heal in their own ways, whether it's big or small.
Yeah. And I was also going to say as well, it's like if you're a younger person listening and you feel like your parents have got you in a chokehold and you're feeling suffocated at home, remember that it's not, there's a lot of compounding different things, and one of those things is just the fact that you're in the same space with them 24/7. So for me personally, what really healed my relationship, especially with my dad, was creating physical space and actually moving out, because we can have these discussions, but also being able to close those discussions and be like, love you, but
Gonna live and
I
leave
need
ya.
to go.
Yeah, all it comes down to really at the end of the day, like with everything, is just perspective. Like that's always my number one
favorite word.
My number one takeaway. Like if you don't have perspective, then you're going to struggle to understand. And sometimes, you know, whether it's having conversations with your parents or family members or whatever, whether it's a generational difference or just like a perspective on like whether it's religion or politics or whatever, like sometimes you don't need to actually understand their side to still be able to agree to disagree and be able to still respectfully still be family, still get along, but then just be like, okay, we just see things differently when it comes to this.
That's it.
Not passing judgment and stuff.
100%.
So
just take a breath, everyone.
And I think that's the thing, just like, you know, learn to have an open mind rather than judging. Yeah, because, you know, you're being your own blockages. So, yeah, a bit on the deeper side today, guys.
yeah, just don't block
Damn.
your blessings, man.
Yeah. Oh, I like that. Don't block the blessings.
No, but that's us for tonight, family. Thank you so much for listening. If this is your first time, if you're a recurring listener, appreciate all the love and everything like that. Send us any feedback, thoughts, any topics you'd love to for us to talk about in future episodes. And with that being said, my name is Dion,
I'm Aki.
I'm Rini.
and we are the
Three
Wise.
cousins. My bad. We're still working on it.
Well, Rusty, it's been a
A
minute.
week later.
Hey, at least it was clear this time.
Yeah.
Deuces.